Welcome to the Crimson Tide Connection, your home for Crimson Tide sports. And I'm joined this morning by the head coach of the Alabama softball team, Patrick Murphy. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good to see you, Christopher.
Good to see you, Coach. Coach, you had a great weekend. You got to go back home to Iowa to start the season. Just what was that like for you being able to go home?
Well, to have three people within our program with ties to Northeast Iowa, I felt it was a good time to go. Most people are saying, "What the heck is he doing going north to play softball?" But one of the cool things about the University of Northern Iowa is they have a smaller dome. It seats about 16,000 people. It's a football field, and half the stands seat 8,000, and the other half seat the other 8,000. So it's it's a nice venue for 1AA football, FCS football now. But when I was in college, what they used to do is they'd put a home plate at one end and another home plate at the other end zone, cut the whole stadium in half, and they'd have two games going at once. Okay. Well, the ball was still the white ball, the bats were not very good, and the athletes weren't as good as they are today. Now they put up an end zone and one end zone, or a home plate and one end zone. The left field line was about 225 feet. Center was about 225, but right field was kind of like Fenway, where the pesky pole was very short, and it was about 185. They put up some big purple curtains, and if you hit the curtain, it was a double, but if you hit it over the curtain, it became a home run. Okay. And it was just a great atmosphere. The Friday night game versus Northern Iowa, there was over 5,000 people there. We broke an attendance record. We came down a tunnel, and we all looked up to the crowd, and we're like, wow, this is a lot of people. This feels like the World Series. So it was a great night for the state of Iowa softball, UNI softball, and Alabama softball, but just a really good homecoming for Kate Harris, Jaden Spencer, and myself.
You also saw one of your former players there, Cassie Riley-Bocious, so I'm sure you're excited to have her there in attendance.
Yeah, and Cassie is one of our all-time great kids that ever played at Alabama, and her program that she was interested in studying for her master's is exercise science, and the two gentlemen that run the program there are hugely involved with bat and ball sports, studying softball and baseball. And that's exactly what Cassie wanted to study, so it was a perfect match. The two guys are awesome. We got to see them all weekend, and Cassie and the professors were actually filming all our hitters and then doing a study with the pitching as well. So I think they got some good information for their study.
Well, I know you enjoyed going back home to Iowa and seeing all your family and friends, but you also got off to a pretty good start for the season. You started off 5-0 on the weekend. Can you talk about maybe the season, just how you felt like the tournament unfolded?
Well, as we started, we played Big Ten school, which was really good for us because they have one of the preseason pitchers of the year on their staff. She's a young lady that's from Atlanta, actually a senior. So to face a senior the first game, I think is a good challenge for our hitters, and she did a good job. We only had 4 hits, but one of the big ones was a grand slam by Kima Davis, who really did a great job hitting in the 9 spot. She hit 3 home runs, had 11 RBIs. And when you get to the 9 spot in the order, you think that maybe this kid might not have the power.
You'll take that for the 9 spot.
Yeah, Kima showed it all weekend long, and we're so happy for her. But on the opposite end of that was our leadoff 1, 2, and 3 spots were terrific. Kayla Bro, Haley McClinney, Andrea Hawkins, Kayla Hunt, they all did just really good things with the bat all tournament long. Haley McClinney hit like 722 in the 1, 2, or 3 spots. People couldn't get her out, and if they did, it was either a line drive or a long shot to the outfield. Hit a couple home runs, stole 5 bases, scored several runs, made 2 diving catches in the outfield. I truly felt like I was watching us play in the Metrodome in 2000 when we had Kelly Kretschmann in center field, and she kind of did the same thing all weekend that Haley did, and she's just going to be a special player for us.
Excellent. Well, Coach, you talk about some of those other freshmen. You talked about Andrea Hawkins a little bit, but you have to be pretty pleased to see those freshmen step up and kind of fill some of those roles from some of the girls that graduated.
Well, Andrea, she got her shot, I think, the second day, and she was 6 for 6, her first 6 at-bats, which can't get any better than that. And she ended the weekend 6 for 7, made a couple good catches in the outfield. Callie Case was our DP the final game, hitting the 4 spot, and she was 3 for 3. I think she hit 500 on the weekend. So the 3 lefties were really good. And we had Akima Davis do well, who really hadn't played a lot for us. Jackie Branham, Jaden Spencer, Danny Richard played well, and the 3 catchers did a good job controlling the pitchers behind the plate. So overall, I was really pleased with everybody.
And then another thing you have to be excited about over the weekend, that everyone got to play. Pretty much everyone got an at-bat. So you have to be pleased about this early in the season. You can kind of put them out there, let them get some experience, and let them play a little bit.
Yeah, I think our SID, Skip Powers, tweeted after the 4th game of the tournament, every kid on the team had gotten at least one start. And it took us last year until about March 20th.
Wow.
So, and I told the team after that game, you know, I'd read it and I said, look, you know, this very well shows the talent that we have on this team, that I feel comfortable with all 19 of you starting a game. And, you know, even better, we went 5-0. So, but I think everybody's going to get better and better as the season goes along. It was our first week in seeing live pitching. It was a little bit different on the turf. You know, there's no dirt to settle in the batter's box or on the pitching mound. So it was fun to watch them slide because, you know, we would slide early, but it still would not stop you. And several times where they tried to wrap around the base, but the base was just basically taped on the turf.
Right.
So they came with them, and they had a foot with yellow tape that was supposed to be where the base was.
Right.
So if you didn't keep your hand on the yellow tape and they tagged you, you were out. So that was kind of neat to see, but just I thought everybody played well.
Well, Murphy, go from the snow in Iowa to hopefully some sunshine down in Florida this weekend for a tournament. Just going to talk about going down there, maybe some of the competition you'll face down.
Well, again, it's, you know, we tried, what we do is with our kids, wherever they're from, we try to go at least once during their career. And Florida Gulf Coast University invited us a couple years ago, and we knew we were going to have Jackie and Ryan on the team. So this is kind of their homecoming weekend. Naples is only 20-25 minutes away from Florida Gulf Coast. So we're going to go to Jackie's house Thursday night, and Ryan's house as their homecoming. But we've got Florida Gulf Coast, which is a very good team, was in regionals last year, beat Florida at Florida. We open up with Appalachian State. We play Wichita State for the Missouri Valley, Georgia Southern, which was in regionals last year, and Southern Illinois, which is a traditionally strong team also from the Missouri Valley. So I know within the RPI, we probably have teams, you know, 100 and below, which is good for us. I think Florida Gulf Coast, Georgia Southern, and Southern Illinois will definitely be teams you'll see in the postseason. You know, it'll be another good tournament. The Friday night game is already sold out for Florida Gulf Coast, which is the first for them. I know most of Naples is coming out to watch Ryan and Jackie, so it'll be a fun weekend for them.
The Iowa trip was kind of a homecoming for Jaden and Kate, and now this is kind of a homecoming for Jackie and Ryan. What does this mean to them? Is this, I mean, this is kind of something special that you did that maybe that they don't do everywhere else.
Yeah, and you know, some people, you know, they worry too much about, you know, the schedule, and
Right.
but yeah, there's more than just, you know, the softball part of it. There's the other side of it. And you know, one of our players texted me and said, it's so neat to see where Jaden grew up and get to go to her house and meet all her friends. And her high school was across the street. We saw the high school, and you know, her grandparents were there, and aunts and uncles, and it's just it makes our family atmosphere even stronger. And for Jackie and Ryan, it's going to be the same way. I know her mom's probably been cooking all week already, and Ryan's dad, Robert I. Murray, is the head coach of Naples High School softball. So I'm sure that he's going to have tons of friends and family, and his former players are going to come to watch the two kids that used to play for him who won a state championship at Naples. And you know, even the media gets involved because they realize what a neat thing it is. And we had great coverage up at Northern Iowa, and I'm sure we'll have great coverage at Fort Myers and Naples.
Well, Coach, good luck this weekend at the Florida Gulf Coast University Tournament. I'm sure you'll have a good time. And for complete coverage of the tournament, you can check back on RollTide.com, as we'll have daily updates on the tournament. But good luck, Murph.
Thanks a lot, Christopher.
For head coach Pat Murphy, I'm Chris Freeland, and that's it for this edition of Crimson Tide Connection.